I'm Ian Larson. I'm from the Faculty of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, and I won the Vice-Chancellor's Award for Teaching Excellence in 2010. Evaluating my innovations at the pharmacy faculty was one of the most important parts of the teaching developments that I made. The first thing I did was contacted the people at what used to be called CALT, but is now the office, for help with designing a survey so that I could most appropriately get the information that I needed. I first surveyed the students with a paper-based form, and after that I got them into a meeting room, and we had what used to be called focus groups. That let me understand some of the students' thinking about the developments that I'd made, and let me further refine those developments in the next year. It was a continual cycle of planning something, then developing that activity, then assessing it, getting some student feedback on it, and then refining the activity further if necessary. So each year that I made a change to my teaching, then I would survey the students. I'd survey the students with written forms. I would put survey quizzes on Blackboard. They're anonymous student surveys on Blackboard. And then, if necessary, I'd get some of the students in and have just a meeting with them and just talk about the issues that my changes to my teaching had made to the way that they went about learning the material that I was presenting to them. So to use evidence in my application, I used the surveys that I'd conducted, I used unit evaluations as well, and I used feedback from other staff who'd implemented some of these changes in their teaching as well. So they would survey their students and they had unit evaluations as well. And basically I've structured my application around the Monash quality cycle, where I would build something, I would develop something, I would assess it, and then I'd go back and refine it even further. And so it was a continual process. And so the different kinds of student information that I had were, as I said, my personal surveys, the unit evaluations, feedback from other members of staff who'd used it, and feedback from conferences where I presented this work and where staff from around the world had implemented some of the changes that I'd made. The best thing about putting together an application for award is actually what you learn about yourself and about what changes you've made to the students. You start off, and the way I did was look at things very scientifically and look for changes in unit evaluations and look for change in survey responses, but that's really only part of it. What you really want to find is whether there's been any changes in the students' learning styles or learning approaches, and it's not often that we think about that very much. And so when you write the award, you're forced to think, rather than just the metrics going up and down or improving or however it might be, is start to think about things from the student's point of view and how it's made life better from them and how they've been able to easier learn what you've wanted them to learn.